Hello, everyone, and welcome to the GameDay Squad Aussie Rules Round 2 preview. I'm your host, Cal, and joining me today is the guy I didn't even see on the league. Tom, how are you doing, mate?
Oh, come on, bro. Getting into it early. I'm good, man. I'm ready for a new round, a new era, and to put the past behind me and to keep moving forward. So just like my Swannies, my season has started a little bit rough, actually, in terms of fantasy, and I'm looking to get things back on track this round.
It ended a bit rough last year as well. It wasn't just the start of this one that was a bit rough for you, but we don't need to rub in your poor Swannies here anymore. Today, guys, we're going to be jumping through a few things for our preview show. We've got some positional rankings Tom has put together to help everyone build a squad that is going to try and take myself down this week. And we've also got, of course, the big $1,000 mega draw for our pack credits that we've been running all week on our Discord. So we've got over 200 entries in that, Tom, where someone's going to walk away with $1,000 in packs. I'm super excited for that. It's been our biggest draw we've ever had here at GameDay Squad, and someone's going to get some pretty good cards, I imagine, walk away after the show.
$1,000 worth of GameDay Squad packs getting given out today. That is awesome. But if that wasn't enough, what about 4 All-Stars to go along with it for 2nd to 5th place? So even if you don't miss out on getting all the cookies, there is plenty to go around. So for everyone that's in it, the best of luck for tonight. You'll have to just wait and see who ends up winning. We've got plenty to go through. Cal touched on it. Let's go through the lineups and see some of the big ins and outs for the game. And if we just pull up Melissa's comment here, she's all over the first one. Tonight, Harry Mackay will be out due to an illness, they're saying. So,
still sick from last week. I would be too.
He didn't look great last week, and it probably was that. Maybe it was that kicking in a little early and it came in. But big in, Charlie Curnow to come straight in that spot and in that slot and potentially carry Carlton's forward line because they could have used him last week.
But I've got neither of those players running around in my forward line this morning. It's going to be a bit wet from what I can hear. So I'm actually avoiding a few players that we're going to, I'm sure, talk about tonight. But that is big news. Not as big as the in that I saw the Swans have on Sunday. Did you happen to see the name that you have in for the week?
No, we haven't got there yet. Let's go game by game. Come on, don't spoil it all.
Spoilers, it's not fantasy relevant. It's just to wind you up. So take us through. I'll be waiting for that when we get to the end.
Yeah, sounds good. Let's go to the next game. We've got Doggies, Collingwood, DeGoey's in, Mason Cox in. So that dynamic there, an extra big there to go through the ruck. So be interesting to see the Doggies side. Not too many fantasy relevant players. Let's go Essendon, Crows. Jordan Ridley out, which I know a lot of people like to play McGrath, play Redmond, and that could just open up the window a little bit more, having one of their primary ball users out there. So interesting, that one.
That one, yeah. I think I know people were snapping up Ridley's quite cheap in the preseason. Good when he's on. He's just unfortunately never on. So, yeah, yes. I don't know he would have been in many squads, but it does make it interesting because there's a few players in that Essendon team that I wouldn't mind having a look at. And you've just mentioned a couple. Like I said, McGrath was awesome last week.
Yeah, well, should be just mentioned. It's our first time streaming to Instagram. So any of our Instagram users, welcome to the stream. This is how we're going to be rolling from now on. We've got it across all our socials. So whatever's your preferred method, make sure to watch along. In your game, Jeremy Finlayson, a fan favourite here at GameDay Squad, is out. That is a huge out for you. Tommy Lynch is out as well for Richmond.
He was sneaky an option against a pretty poor Richmond team. Well, everyone thinks is a pretty poor Richmond team. He scored 100 as a forward, which is borderline, right? Borderline playable, but he's taken that away. So I don't know that's going to mean much. But I know as you're going through the list here, there are a couple but there was no big names, right? There's no one that nothing changed my squad. So
Mitchie Owens in for the Saints. I'll keep it a bit quicker now. Petrocelli's in for West Coast. Liam Ryan there as well, forwarding GameDay Squad. Spargo in. Jed Adams, but not too many players you'd really consider. And then the last game, Shea Bolton in. Love that. And oh no, I've seen the player you were talking about. Why are we starting? I'm not even going to mention it.
Peter Laddams, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Swans. I think his last game he played, he lost by 100 points to my Port Adelaide Power. But we're not so good anyway. So, yeah, let's get your rankings up, mate. Because, like we said, there's not much there that would have changed, I'm sure, last-minute rankings. So how you're going to do this every week is you're going to jump in. You're going to show us top 10 rankings for your forwards, your defenders, your mids, and then your top 5 in rucks. I'm just realizing it's going to be me that's sharing my screen for this one. So give me 1 sec. I'll get that one up and running.
Beautiful.
And can you see that?
Sure can.
Take it away.
Alrighty. So I guess presumably the top or the first 7 for defenders are going to be my starters for this round. So you can see there, the top of the list is Big Cheezel, the Sheezel. He's just too good. He's playing through the middle. Pretty standard player. Love the ball use and the chance he's going to get to score. So I won't harp on too much. Zorko's just staying Zorko. Loves the footy. And in a really tasty matchup against West Coast, I can see him going nuts. Make sure to get him in your squad. Nick Martin, maybe he comes a little bit further back with Ridley out. That's another consideration I didn't really have, seeing that he was gone. So could Nick Martin's stocks be going up after a pretty impressive round 1 already, cracking the 120 mark? So love him as a defender, love him as a dynasty player as well, and he's sitting at 3.
Solid. Yeah, no complaints so far.
NWM, this is a player that I missed out on last round. Didn't get him into my starting squad, and regrettably, he was just everywhere for the Saints. They just clearly want to use him coming out of their defense, and they love to play that kick mark game to sort of set up and then launch their attack, whether it's down the line or through the middle. And then he's just one of the best ball users that they're going to try to get his hands on it. And a lot of kicks, and that's good for GameDay Squad. So love it. Bailey Dale, this is a player that I really like for this round and for the start of the season. I spoke about Treloar and Bontempelli being out. So that's 2 of your best ball winners not playing to start this season off for the Bulldogs. Bailey Dale is a ball winner. No, he doesn't play in the midfield, but I just think he's going to have an increased chance to get the ball, to score points, and he's a pretty much a lock for me this round. He had 22 kicks last round and had 2 goals. So we saw him creep forward. He won't be a lock for me all season. I feel like he'd be one of those defenders that streams in and out for me. But for this round in particular, I'm loving what Bailey Dale is going to bring to the table.
If you've got 5 and you've already locked him in, Jesus. So there's your first 5. So when did you start to actually think about it if he was a lock? Amon?
Just like matchups and purely based. And I have a little note here. This part here, 6, 7, 8, I have them about this far apart. You can't even see the distance because I actually can't decide. And between these 3 players, I reckon have chucked one in and out about 5 times just today alone. I seriously can't work out who I want to play, but my gut's telling me Amon probably has a little bit of an edge. He's played 2 games and he has looked so good. Over 20 kicks in each and averaging 133. I know it's only a small sample size, but it's definitely something you've got to consider.
Yeah, 7. So I probably would have had him there, but I'm just thinking he's maybe one with the weather tonight. That if he's borderline and you're that close,
it's true.
Does the rain make you go one of your cats? You got 3 of them lined up here. So as I think, Auntie Booger shouting out catters. There's a few to choose from. The Koning was so good last week. What did he score? 146. Yeah, and just getting around the ground, a few hitouts in there, not bad for a defender. So I like that. But with the Amon pick, probably be trying to slide him down. Talk about Holmes though. People were high on him preseason. Had a good start, not a great start. So has he sort of slipped out? Borderline.
No, he's definitely there. Number 7 is there. So in my starters for this round, but he's playing in the midfield. He had 62% CBA attendances in the first game. He played really well. He did push forward. I guess my only knock to him is he had 2 goals, and I don't think that's sustainable. So if we're looking at sort of that score as a floor, then maybe we're not expecting him to get back to 128, which with so much good defender depth is sort of the mark you need to be getting to, because a lot of these players, when they're playing well, are getting to 120, 130 easy.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to have a game like they did against Freo every single week where they just
No,
had
no.
their own way. So, yeah, I'm nervous about it. And like Stuart was someone I didn't even think of. Again, for that reason, I just thought they had such an easy time last week, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I can just see it coming back to earth a little bit for the Cats. They are playing the Saints though, right? So could also be another easy game, but yeah.
For sure. But yeah, home starting in the guts. So love that and love the upside that a midfielder can bring at the defender position. DeConing playing as a ruck at the moment. Marshall has been named. So does that impact my rankings? I'm a little concerned that Marshall isn't fully fit to play. And concerned, I mean, it's probably a good thing because if he's not, then DeConing could go nuts here. And we could see sort of him splitting time in the ruck and sort of versing a tier 2 ruck for most of the game with Marshall having to rest up forward and get some legs in him. No, when Marshall's resting and not in.
Yeah, I was going to say tier 2 for Patton's kind.
Yes, true. But you understand the point and why I think he's ranked really high. And I think it might be a risk that I can see coaches taking, and it could make or break a round. Tommy Stewart's just Tommy Stewart, one of the best all-star defender from last year. He's that guy. He's so good. Playing in the guts as well because they're rotating him through the middle and then they're sending him down back so he can still continue to do all the intercept marking, everything. I have Sicily at 10, probably a bit higher than other people, or lower, I guess, sorry, for rankings that other people would have him. But I'm a little concerned about, again, tonight, we're talking about the weather and then also his role. Does he get pushed forward? Kerno's playing. Does he go? What's his role going to look like? And are they going to play well? So that's my top 10. 7 of them I'm starting in my defense.
Like it. I've got 6 of my guys on the screen there, but you are missing a name, and I think now's the time to talk about it. No Dan Houston, who maybe didn't get the score for best on ground in GDS, but he looked the best on ground. And I think the ball is going to be around halfback a little bit more than it was for the Pies, who just had everything going forward for them last week. Talk me through why he's not part of your 10.
Do you think so? I think an undermanned doggies are going to struggle against Collingwood, who Collingwood are coming out here.
Mate, they can't be worse than what we put up, right?
They can, trust me. Teams can be.
If it wasn't for Connor Rosie, I would have had that game turned off halfway through the second quarter.
Yeah, he would have made it a bit easier for you to watch. But look, I just think it's a watch for me at the moment. Maybe it's silly to say that because he is so good and we know, but he's in a new system, in a new team, has a new role. I'm watching him for sure, and he's in and around the mark. But just for this round in particular, looking at matchups and sort of the upside players have, he just fell out. But, with some weather conditions, maybe he hops into 10 right there, and it's an easy swap for Sicily, and you go Houston. But yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, right. Well, anyone following along, is there any other defender Tom has missed out here in his rankings? Let us know. Like I said, I think Houston's there. I'd probably have Sicily out. But yeah, although pretty solid. You're off to a good start.
Nice, man. All righty. Well, let's continue it along. Hey, let's get into mids. What do we got next?
We're going into mids. Take it away.
Let's do it. My number 1, someone that you just have zero respect for, by the way. And I'm hoping that after round 1, and I know you've texted me, so I think you're along, guys and girls. Jordan Dawson is one of the best midfielders in all of fantasy. I'm loving Jordan Dawson this season.
I think, I do think after giving him some stick this time last week, I may have texted you on the weekend saying I'm finally on the Jordan Dawson train. He looked so good. And I loved his role. He was playing quarterback the whole way up the ground. Didn't matter if they were playing off halfback. Didn't matter if they were just outside the 50. He was in the same spot behind the ball up every single time and was just left, right, kicks. What do you have, like 19 kicks to one handball at one point? Is that him? Or he's just on fire? Something crazy. Maybe I'm mixing him up. But does love a kick to handball.
Does love it.
So 24 kicks to 3 handballs. There you go. Yeah, he's not handballing when he gets it. But no, he's fantastic. Just a couple of people just rounded back to your defenders. We've got Salem and Jack Henry. People are asking about. Any thoughts on them not making you 10?
Yeah, Salem's probably one of the people that I was considering getting into the top 10 there. He had a really fantastic round one.
Top scored, 152. Top scored defenders, and he's not even on the 10.
Yeah.
Which,
yeah, I know. But he's very, what's the word? Is volatile the word? He can definitely fluctuate in terms of scoring. And we will see these games from Salem where he'll come out. He'll look like one of the best defenders in the comp. But then, we're going to have these other games where he's not getting the footy as much. And he just doesn't have the fantasy floor like some of these others. So when you're taking risks in using defenders, I like to at least I like to think that I'm taking a bit of a safer option with a better floor with similar upside, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and if you're looking at Salem the last 3 years, he's gone 82, then he's gone 90, then he's gone 95. I don't think he's going to become now a 150 player. I think it was a good game, fantastic game. Congrats to anyone that played him, but I think you're trying to catch lightning if you're playing him this week. Jack Henry, interesting one.
Yeah, it is an interesting one. I have a feeling that, we spoke about how good the Catters played in their first game. And I know Auntie Boogie's in the chat and she's going to love hearing this. She's a big Catters fan. So
I think she went along to the game. She was saying it would have been fantastic seeing Bailey Smith in the flesh.
That definitely would have been fantastic. But yeah, Henry, I think he's just another one of those sort of players. He had 14 marks. Now, not to say that he can't have this performance again, but we're just the sort of the game script and how it went. It sort of led to him getting a lot of easy pill. I think he was inspired by Luke Ryan, a favourite here at GameDay Squad, with the kick marks around the back and just getting some easy intercept marks. And I think it just came down to them dominating their forward pack in the air. Like aerially, they looked really good. So I don't think Henry expect a big regression in terms of his score is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. Number 2, I'm massive on Dunkley as Lewis is just warning everyone, fade Dawson, the tag is coming. But
he got tagged take it away. 155. But I'll take it away with Dunkley. Dunkley's got the best matchup in all of fantasy from 2024. It's the West Coast Eagles. So coming off last performance against the Swans, who are traditionally known as a hard matchup for mids, scoring 155. It's looking pretty tasty going up against West Coast. So how can you not get him in your squad for the round?
Well, I was shocked when I saw Neil in there, but then I realised who he was playing. And I went, you know what? That means that one of these guys are having a big game. One of them is going to go big because West Coast looked awful. So, yeah, no, I like it. Dunkley looked awesome. I didn't have him in the squad last week. I've made sure to take advantage of that matchup this week.
Yes, and likewise, unfortunately, I faded Dunkley, and that was a horrible decision. Merritt's just Saki Merritt, super safe, one of the best players in the comp. I'm not going to harp on too much there. Rosie, your boy, you got the prize card. Look, he is just the commander-in-chief at the moment for Port in a very tough game to watch for you. He was the one shining light. He looks unbelievable, looks super fit, and he is going to dominate this season. And commonly, you'll see him in this top 10, and no different this week going up against the Tigers.
And that's coming off a rolled ankle. So now he's actually fully fit. Watch out, Richmond. So now
Nick
I like that one.
Looked really good. I think a lot of people faded him in round one, or I know there was a couple from discussions that I had, but man, he looked good. Depleted doggy side. Can't imagine they throw attention at him because they just have too many numbers already down. If they're at full strength, I'll probably be a little bit more worried for this, but Dacos is going to run amok and do his thing.
Yep, I like it.
Caldwell, bit of a smoky. I do expect a regression, so let's not look at his score from last week and think Caldwell.
I was going to say, a bit of smoky. Guy just came off. What did he score? 170?
170. But look, 36 disposals, 18 kicks, 18 handballs, but he had 11 tackles, and that's what he does. He works really hard. He gets to contest, and he's going to give himself an opportunity to score pretty big each week. Essendon have shown in the past that they can actually have two viable midfielders as well. We saw this year's prior with Parrish and Merritt. I think this is just 2.0, the same thing. Now, some weeks you're going to have to pick one or the other in terms of matchup, but this round I'm feeling pretty good about them going against the Crows.
Yeah, I think Caldwell was the all-star people didn't want to get. I think it was Cornelio 2 years ago, and then it was Caldwell last year. A few people actually exchanging in their Caldwells. I think I would have been regretting that. And I think you actually picked one up this week. You went out and splurged and got one on the cheap. So
Yes, I did. I bought into the hype. I was one of those people. Saw week round 1. Went, yeah, I want it. Let's go to 7.
Yeah.
Lockie Neal. This is going to be a league or a competition winner if you can get this right. If he plays really well, Bales, I was having a discussion with him last night on the Game Day Squad show we did. He had his worst performance since like 2018. It's been that many years since Lockie Neal has played this bad. And very commonly, players of his caliber will bounce back in a big way after such a poor performance. And again, with one of the best matchups in the competition, presumably, with us from last year's data, Neil looks like he's going to be in a lot of people's squads this round and is going to go nuclear. So keep an eye on him to go big, essentially. He's going to be good.
I like that, and it's definitely going to be a watch because I feel like it's not a matter of how many. Like, are you playing a line? Are you playing 2?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
You can see there's a few people in there, so I do like it. So far, no issues. Heaney though. In the 8, so he's on the outside, so he's not in your squad, but he's there around. And then obviously I'd have Cripps and Liver. They're all sort of very similar. Where I can see if you're looking for a pod, but obviously none of these guys will be starting for you with only 5 spots available.
Yeah, Heaney's pretty safe. Liber, awesome opportunity to score. Underman midfield, and then Cripper's just Cripper. Got to get him in that sort of top 10. Let's move along though. Let's get into the rucks. We'll quickly touch on this. I've only done 5 for this one, so not as many.
Well, anything else that people want to call out there with the mids, we've got to remember to call that in early, so before we skip and don't have to come back. But if Tom is missing someone in his midfield rankings that should be in there, let him know, and don't be this time nice about him. Don't be nice to him about it.
Louis around, so he'll definitely be on my case here. Ed Richards, definitely actually was looking at him as well. Ball winner, so good shout. Just not outside of my top 10.
It's going to be an interesting game, that one tomorrow night. They've now named themselves Footscray for tomorrow's game. They're expecting one of their biggest ever crowds. So, yeah.
Mate, let's get into rucks. Let's go the obvious, the man, the GOAT at the moment is Tristan Cherry. I don't think there'll be a matchup this season where we go, it's not a Tristan Cherry week. I feel like we get to play 2 rucks Game Day Squad, and I just think he's going to have a spot every round. I guess the only reason you wouldn't play Cherry is if you want to sort of zag when everyone's zigging and try to win a round here and there and go for some pods and some other options. I could see people doing that to try to get an advantage over, but I wouldn't be banking on Cherry going under.
Yeah, it's too early to be hunting round wins if you still. I think most of us are still in the chance for the seasonal competition.
Everyone's round still in the chance right now. Everyone is.
I don't know. You're a bit far off the pace early, but. Yeah, I think you'd be silly to not play him. He's up against Gawn, though, right? So that in the past has always... I don't love playing 2 ruckmen in the same game, even though they can still both score well, but there is definitely a cap on the number of hitouts. And normally they're at the same contest, right, when they're going up for marks and things like that. So I normally don't love it. So you look like you're not going to play the 2. You're going to go to Koning.
I am. I'm concerned that Cherry is going to nullify Max Gawn a little bit. He's the best ruck in the comp, in my opinion. He's going to dominate not only aerially, and he's also going to do it on the ground as well. And I think Maxi Gawn's going to have a bit of trouble trying to keep up with one of the competition's best. But to be fair, if anyone could do it, Maxi has proved in the past that he is that guy. He is that caliber of player. And it would be Maxi Gawn if anyone could nullify Tristan Cherry at the moment. But I'm not going to be banking on that. I'm going to be avoiding and going to Koning. Will the conditions impact that a little bit? Yes, because he get his hands on the ball a bit. Yes, last week had 13 kicks, which is pretty impressive for a ruck. So maybe we see a little regression, but I'm liking Koning this round in the wet. Lots of hitouts and maybe lots of tackles.
Well, yeah, that was the thing last week. If you get 5+ tackles as a ruck, that's good. You want that, and he definitely did that last week. Let us know about the rest of the ruckman. What is if Tom's got this one right? I honestly thought I forgot about Tim English.
Yes,
which is crazy because he's all who we spoke about for 2 years, and he's got a big game tomorrow night. I want to kind of wait and see the weather. Me personally, I've got Nan Curvis in my ruck spot, but I'm not committed.
He's got a good matchup.
He does. He's gonna have a lot of hitouts with us, but I don't love it. I'm gonna actually sit down tomorrow and figure out who I want to play, but. Okay. I'm obviously going to lose the chance to play De Koning. I'm obviously going to. I don't love English if I've already forgotten about him. It's just really weird. It's really weird for that second ruck. I wish I could play Cherry twice, but I can't. So yeah, let me know who you guys are playing. And yes, someone's asking, hey lads, is this the wheel stream? Yes, this is going to be at the end of this one.
This is it.
In about 10, 15 minutes, we're going to be spinning that wheel and see who gets the W. So yeah, no, that's
I
good.
won't talk too much about the rest here. I want to pull up this comment. Cherry v. Gorn head-to-head. How many people will actually be starting both? Or are people thinking like myself and you're either going to pick one or the other? Let us know if you're around right now in the chat. I want to know your thoughts.
Is it Lloyd Meek week? Is it Big O week? Is it time to do something?
You guys got West Coast. If there ever is a Big O week, it is right now.
Didn't he? Yeah, I think he had one game last year.
As you can see, has missed my top 5 still, even with a Big O week. So yeah, proceed with caution.
It's the big no. All right, defenders, forwards.
Yes,
going the wrong way. Oh, and of course you've got your Bailey Smith prize card, which you didn't even play in Classic last week.
Hey,
you've had it sitting there. You've had it sitting there in your reserves for 2 years. It must have hurt knowing that how good he was playing, and he wasn't even in your squad.
Yeah, but it must have. It didn't actually hurt that much. I had Jordan Dawson in my squad All-Star, who he was the second highest scoring mid. So we're all good. But Bailey Smith, what a start to his campaign. Not only does he look good on the field, he's doing beautiful stuff off it as well. He is just winning at life. He's doing both things, got his hands on the footy a ton, looked like the best player on the field, seriously, and he had a bloody motor on him. He just would not stop running. Love to see it.
Yeah, he looked very fit, and I am going to be shocked if anyone thinks that it's a smart thing to fade him. He looks so good. He 100%. He to me is as set and forget as Tristan Sherry with the role he had and how good he was. So yeah, no complaints there. Jackie McRae, number 2, is still putting up points in a pretty tough game for the Saints.
Yeah, played exclusively in the midfield, and that's exactly what we're looking for. This is his sort of year probably is going to remind me of Jai Caldwell from last season. He's going to dominate. He's going to feature in your forward line a lot this season, and it's going to be really hard to not start McRae in any given week, especially even with if you're worrying about tagging or anything, you'd presume it's going to go to Steele, not to McRae anyway. So he should be off the hook for most this year to dominate. Rankin, maybe a bit of a surprise at 3, but I loved what I saw from him in round 1. And I don't expect him to have 18 handballs again. I feel like he could have got his boot to ball a little bit more in that game, and he will moving forward. Played a lot of time in the midfield, obviously going forward as well, and he's very tidy from finishing either in front of goals or on the boundary line. Doesn't matter for Rankin. He is a tank, and he's going to score really, really well.
Yeah, I like it. I thought he was really good. I like that role with him. And he's getting, like you said, a few tackles, which is something I wasn't expecting from him as a mid. But yeah, no complaints so far. And I think the next one's going to be interesting because, like we said, it's a bit wet. Moore's a good person to fade.
It could be a good option to fade, but he's going to play in the guts as well. He's going to have an opportunity to play well. I can't see myself fading more. I'm probably more likely to fade Carl Amon just because I feel like it affects his game style a little bit more, being in the wet and not being able to zip around and get those uncontested marks. But Moore's just, he's a bull. He'll love the rain as well. He'll love getting in there and having the hard contest and playing. So I'm less concerned about Moore than I am with others.
You're more concerned with others, you would say.
More concerned, yes. Simpkin featuring number 5 for me, mate. He looks so good in round 1. He's playing in the midfield as well. He was one of those people spoken about this preseason as he's probably someone you're going to want to get their player card.
We watched in the All-Star game. Yeah, in the Indigenous All-Stars game, we watched how good he was, and we're like, geez, he's going to be hard not to play if he's playing like that. Sure enough, first game, bang, how good.
He's playing like that, and he's straight in for me. I don't think you need to overthink it too much. Playing in the guts, we're looking for those players who are sort of playing out of position. He's going to be one of them for this season and for this round as well. Loving what he's going to bring. So give me Jai Simpkin at number 5.
Yep, that's good. I've got him. No complaints. Myers, again.
Messi. Yes, he sits at
After
6.
Zoldrix. I feel like he's never going to be up the top. He's just going to sit there. He's always going to be around 5, 6 in these forward rankings. It was really good. Another Kata, as Auntie Booger called out. You've got quite a few. Your squad must have, what are you up to? Like 5 or 6 this week?
Yeah, mate, they're good. They're just a good fantasy team. You know, you just have those teams that you're just like, and it's like a bit like Freo, where they've got Brayshaw, Sarong, Ryan, Clark. They've just got good fantasy players all around the ground. Maybe they might have the most, in my opinion, if I could rank them. But anyway, we're not talking about the Counters rankings. Let's talk about Myers. He's really safe. He's just a really solid, good player who he'll never really fluctuate too much. Yeah, he'll have some dull games, and he probably doesn't have the ceiling as any of the others that we've spoken about beforehand, because they're all going to be playing in the midfield and getting a lot more opportunity to score. But he just has his role. He plays it so well, and he's going to continue to output similar scores to what he did from last round. So I didn't think he played too great, and he still got to 110 fantasy points. So
he didn't play well at all, and still somehow 8 marks, but 14 kicks to 0 handballs, which we love.
Oh, we love that.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely needs to get a few more. But I think he'll be just fine. I'll chat about his teammate in a couple more. I think Horn Francis is in for a big week this week.
Yeah, is he? Look, in the 7, probably pretty disappointing to his campaign. I feel like we expected a little bit more from him, especially with Butters out. So is it concern? I don't think so. I think it's just one of those games where they got rolled. It is what it is. Move on. So 19 kicks, though. Very impressive, and that's a good sign and an indication of maybe what can be to come. But yeah, Horn Francis, that's your boy. I know you're going to love seeing him there, and he's going to be in a lot of squads this round, and for good reason.
Yeah, I think they'll have a bounce back, and I think he'll be the reason for it. He's going to be very, very good. Bolton, you've got him straight in. No messing around.
Well, no, he's sitting on the edge. But straight into my top 10, yes, because the upside and new team, new colours, new system. I think that a lot of the games and performances we saw last year, he was one of the focal points in terms of trying to shut him down and make sure he doesn't get going. He's going to have the freedom to play now. He's got Sarong. He's got Brayshaw. He's got weapons all around him that are going to get him the ball and going to take a lot of attention away from him. So don't be surprised if Bolton finishes his campaign as an all-star forward. It's going to be tough with how good some of them are this year. But Shy Bolton, nonetheless, should be on your radar weekly because he's just unbelievable.
Yeah, flashback 2 years ago, he averaged 103. So if he can go back to that form, if he can get to about 103, probably puts him in ballpark for these forwards, at least at the bottom end. I don't like Cameron at 9. This, out of all your rankings so far, this has been the one I don't like the most. I know they've got another easy matchup this week, but I just would not be going back to the Cameron well. Had a good game.
Let me tell you why Cameron's actually going to be a good matchup, and maybe I can convince some people to get him into their squads. But going up against the Saints, definitely one of their strong points isn't going to be versing and going up against key forwards, and he's one of the better key forwards in the game. Not only that, he comes up the ground. I felt like he didn't really get the ball as much last round because, Henry and Smith, and there were so many players just getting hands on the ball and playing so well. But I do see a regression for a lot of those sort of players, and it's going to open up an opportunity for Cameron to get more involved. I think what saved him last round is 4 goals, but 122 fantasy points on a round where I thought he didn't play well is an indication of how good you are as a player. So Cameron, I think, rightfully deserves to be in the top 10, and I think maybe you just don't like Cameron. Is this another Dawson 2.0?
A little bit, yeah, but
okay,
not to the same level. I just don't think you'd want 4 goals. If someone needs to kick 4 goals to be in your forward line,
yeah,
unless they're coming up against Prime West Coast, I don't really want to see it.
Prime
West Coast. To keep things moving. Last one here, you've got Jacko. I kind of like this one, Sneaky Jackson.
Sneaky. Look, going up against Grundy, so we've definitely got the matchup for it. I just think he's going to be playing in the ruck. Darcy's still out. So each week you should be keeping an eye and tabs on Jackson to potentially sort of put him in and maybe get him into your best 7 if other people aren't, because he's going to be a really, really good pod to play. Well, he's not a pod, but, just a rotation sort of player to get through.
I think he's a big time, like high ceiling. he gets it
Yeah,
right.
at the moment. But once Darcy comes back and everything, I think that train
Yeah.
sort of, or that ship will sink, and then we won't see him too much in our squad. So it's now or never
Nice,
for him.
Yeah, nice. And nice. Like how you're linking the Dockers to your analogies. Fantastic.
Let's move on, though, because, Cal, we've got a major draw to do, and we've got a couple winners that we're going to have to get through. So with the footy only, 8 minutes away, I reckon we get into it, hey? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, let's get into it. Yeah, I was going to say, you don't want to see my squad?
Let's do your squad at the end, just so we can squeeze it in.
No, it'll take me 2 seconds. It's not that
Get it now.
like
It's ready. There you go.
I'm ready to go. If it loads up here, it's been sitting here waiting. This is how mine's currently looking. So not too dissimilar to yours. You didn't have Sarong in your list. We don't need to talk about him, but he's still a watch. But my thing this week is I have it pretty even. Last week, I was pretty big on the salary caps, and I went in all on the ruckman. I might need to sit down and find a few more matchups I like to push some of that salary cap around. But for now, that's how I'm probably rolling. And I'm even thinking about taking more out. You can see he's the only one I've got in tonight. I don't know. I reckon I'll keep him in there just because I want to have a player playing tonight. And I reckon that might be my undoing. So that is my squad. Let me know what you think. And let me know if you can see where Tom is on the leaderboard here, because I cannot. So
you can't. All right. Let's just move on. Move on swiftly.
All right. Let's get this wheel up and running. All right. So, Tom, do you want to take it away while I get this set up? Talk about what's up for grabs here?
Yeah, absolutely. So I know a lot of people would be hanging around right now waiting for this moment, and the moment is here upon us. What we are doing is we ran a promotion, and I've got to say, Cal, this is our best promotion we have run since the start of GameDay Squad. And what the promotion was is if you guys got around it, got on the market and helped out GameDay Squad, you got in a chance or tickets to the major draw. The first place major draw prize was for $1,000 in GameDay Squad pack credit to spend how you want on the platform. The only thing you can't spend it on is special packs. So they're like All-Stars and Queensland versus New South Wales, if you like rugby, etc. But every commons, uniques, and rares, you can splurge on them for whatever sport, however you like to distribute it. After that, though, we're going to have our big winner. It's going to be amazing. And then we've got an all-star Travis Head, Burmra, Jack Sinclair, and Trelaw to give away. So your pick of an all-star card based upon where you get drafted after the first pool. So the second place winner will get the first choice, and then so on and so forth. So this is massive. The biggest giveaway we've ever done.
Yeah, bring it up on the screen. Everyone bring it. We'll get it going. We'll reach out to you after for the All-Stars. So how it's going to be, if you do win, we're going to take your name out.
I think you've got it, Cal. You're going to have to pull it up.
I'm sharing it. I think you've got to pull it up on the left-hand side.
Oh, apologies. Gotcha. Here we are. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Look at this.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to read
a name.
No, you're not going to be able to, guys. The hope is that we take it out. I have realized that I have got some names different. So I've used some coaches' Discord names and their squad names. So if you do win and I haven't taken your name out, I am going to remove you. So there might be some redraws. So I'm putting that disclaimer out now in case that does happen. But yeah, Tom, let's get into this, mate. We've got 5 minutes before the footy starts. There's going to be some long draws here. So first one is going to be for the 1,000 in pack credits. Thank you, everyone. It was a massive promotion. It's going quite well. Hopefully it's a big name here early.
Oh, so man, I want to G up and see who it is, but I just can't.
Looking like EQPT, Vishal, Denny D, maybe Tony's Troops.
Oh, Sione, it's slowing down.
Jay, Stealth, Denny D. It's Denny D. Denny D's one.
D. Wow.
Congratulations.
I can see his name a few times in that, so definitely had more than the one submission and chance to win, and he's plucked it.
Yeah, so I think I've got him in here as
Remove
Jürgen,
all.
but
can you do that?
Yeah, done it. But I still think there are some Jürgens in here. So congratulations, Danny D. We still have the other 4 coming up. So as you can see, there was over 200 entries in this. So can you see it now? Does it get a little bit easier?
No.
No.
It's not.
Lions, maybe a Penrith, SB Sports, Sloan and Steady. Sloan and Steady. Nah.
Who else is subbed out?
Hoktura Jacks. It's Jacks.
Jax.
Congratulations, Jax has won himself first pick of the All-Stars. I think he's an Aussie Rules player, a rugby league player. So I'm not sure he plays in the Indian cricket as well. So that might be a card that comes straight back up on the market. But we'll see. Congratulations, Jax.
Can't you pick?
He can pick, but there's no rugby league. There's no, unless we're going to convert Jax into the Indian cricket starting this Saturday night, which we're all excited for. We got too much fantasy sports going at the moment. Yeah, come on.
We'll get him.
Come on. We'll get. Yeah, I was going to say would you take the Sinclair or would you go? Who's the other one we have?
Trelaw. Oh, 100% Trelaw.
Really, I'd think Sinclair.
Nah. Yeah,
all right, this is for the second pick. Sloan and
Jax
steady. I think has
Let's
this.
go. Let's go, brother.
Arrogant Frogs. Arrogant Frogs with pick 2. Okay, congratulations, Arrogant Frogs.
The cricket. Oh, then go cricket, mate. Jax knows cricket.
There you go. Fantastic.
Congratulations,
Boom roll
mate.
Travis Head. That's not a bad card. They're All-Stars, I heard, Tom, are going to be out in the morning, assuming Apple
saying
the release. Yeah, Friday afternoon fun. Mate, we got 2 minutes. I've got to make a decision on this Dylan Moore.
Take him out. Take him out. I want you to take him out, so please take him out.
Auntie Booger, who is here?
Yes.
Auntie Congratulations.
Booger. Let's go.
That's awesome. And our last one, and I can confirm, I've just taken it. I've taken out Moore and I put Simpkin in.
Why was Simpkin not already there? That is a shock. But anyway, maybe not the player I would have replaced. But anyway,
all right, last one. Thanks again to everyone who contributed. If this goes to Jurgen, it's not going to. Hastings Hornets, been a long time. Hastings Hornets, been a long time. Hastings Hornets, pick 4. Fantastic. All righty, there we have our 5 winners. Thanks again for everyone for contributing. Like we said, we've got a couple of exciting things happening. All-Star cards for Indian cricket and Indian cricket launching Saturday night, which we're pumped for. Elite packs, which we've teased, Tom. They are a couple weeks away. Our brand new packs that are going to be joining the store for all. Of course, we've got so much footy going on at the moment. It's fantastic. Watch the game. Thanks for everyone for joining along tonight. Tom, anything you want to say before we head off?
Look, best of luck. Don't worry if you don't perform too well. Just know that I performed worse last round, so it's all good. There's always a chance to bounce back, and I know you will. So, thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you all very soon.
Thanks everyone.